Hello, everybody. My name is Kyle Sosala. I'm the athletic director here at St. Vincent St. Mary High School. This is going on my second year here at St. V. We are super excited about the winter season coming up. It's crazy to think that it's already October and the school year is in full effect, full swing, and we're hitting the ground running. So wanted to talk a little bit about some winter sports information for all you parents and also you student athletes who will be participating in a winter sport. I know for a lot of you who are already in a fall sport, a lot of this might be some of this same information, similar information. But again, it's just good information to know and to have readily available for you and just so you know that what is going on during the season, and so there's no question marks or comments, concerns, whatever it may be. So going to jump right into it. Obviously, I talked a little bit about myself, but again, I'm the athletic director, been here for 2 years. Our contact information is on this slide for anybody that needs to get in contact with anybody on this slide. Moving down is Brendan Hall. This is going on his second year here, but he came back in January of last year. He is our assistant athletic director. He does a great job. And is a good sidekick to myself. As well as I'll jump back to Brian Knight, but as well as Tanner Ross. Tanner Ross is our graduate assistant from Kent State. He's been with us since last January as well. And he does a great job of doing different things in the office and whatnot. And you'll probably more than likely see him around at games, practices, things like that. But he does a great job. Brian Knight, hopefully all of you know who that is, and maybe hopefully you don't know who that is. He's our athletic trainer, keeping all of our student athletes safe, all your son and daughters safe, taping them, checking for injuries, whatever it may be. He does a great job. A new addition, I guess I wouldn't say necessarily new, but new to the full-time position is Ashley Hathaway. Ashley is our assistant athletic trainer. She was here last year as an intern from Kent State University, but now she is with us full-time, which is awesome. We also have a Kent State University intern as well, basically taking her place. Last but not least is a newer addition is Christina Marino. She is our strength and conditioning coach. She teaches 2 classes during the day as well as all the classes after school for all of our teams. Getting the kids, quicker, faster, stronger, getting them more flexible, whatever it may be. But Christina, or Coach T as she goes by, is awesome and does a great job with the kids, and is seemed to be liked by the coaches and kids, and runs a great program in the weight room. Moving on. Want to talk a little bit about our athletics purpose. I like to have a purpose in everything that we do rather than just going on the rat wheel of, this is how we've always done it type of mentality. But my biggest thing is having goals, having a purpose, and getting better with everything that we do. I want to, consistently, teach these kids to get better, through whatever sport it may be. And my little slogan is I want to use education-based athletics as a platform to transform student lives. So using education-based. So again, having this be a learning experience for these student athletes. Even though they're not in the classroom, they're learning a ton of different things, whether it's confidence, teamwork, communication, you name it, they're learning it, even though it might not be in the classroom. But having it be an extension of the classroom really is kind of the way I look at it, and having our coaches not be necessarily coaches, but teachers and role models and mentors for your son and daughter, for the student athletes, to be, a great, let's say, football, basketball, softball, tennis player, whatever it may be, but to be a better human being and a better person with better characteristics in general through whatever sport that they are playing. And that's what the transforming student lives comes into play. So again, transforming them not into again, a better, sports, better player, but a better person in general, with different characteristics and different things that they've learned through whatever sport they're participating in. And that's a little bit about what the transformational coaching is: transformational versus transactional. Transactional being, all we care about is winning. All we care about is the outcome of the game, and we hate losing, and we cutting corners to win, this and that. And that's not what I'm about. Don't get me wrong. I want to win, and I want to be competitive. But the end all be all is not just about the wins and losses. It's again about transforming the transformational coaching, the transforming these kids into amazing people, and then athletes, obviously, second. I talked a little bit about a learning experience. They're going to be learning throughout this whole experience when it comes to sports. A lot of you parents, parents who've gone through a sport, understand that, how many things you've learned through whatever sport you played. I talked a little bit about, having an impact, but I always tell my coaches, I want you to have an impact on these student athletes. And I think they do have an impact on student athletes and on your son and daughters. Because a lot of times they're probably around, your son or daughter a little bit more than you are, especially during season when you have 2-hour practices and then an hour weight training and then study tables and then a game and whatever it may be. So again, making sure that they are, acting like a role model, speaking like a role model, which most of our coaches, all of our coaches already are, pretty solid role models for all of our student athletes. One aspect too that I like to talk about is accountability, respect. We're gonna hold these student athletes accountable. We want there to be rules and guidelines and expectations set within each program within the athletic office, and if we want to hold them accountable. We want them to not walk in on day one and think that everything is going to be handed to them. They are going to work. They're going to work their butts off. They are going to go through open gyms, open nets, open hittings, whatever it may be. They're going to be in the weight room. They're going to be at practice on time. They're going to be doing all these things, in order to wear that St. V logo on their chest. And again, our coaches are going to push, your son and daughter to get better. And I think that's a great way of learning. I talked a little bit about being competitive, but don't get me wrong. I think we all want to win. I'd be stupid not to say that we all want to win. I hate losing. I'm super competitive myself. I played in high school, played baseball in high school, and don't get me wrong, I hate losing. But as I get older and older, I understand that it's not just about being, having the wins and whatnot, but it's about, again, having that transformational coaching in the back of your mind at all times. I talked a little bit about it, but I always look at it as athletics being a privilege, not a right. Again, it just goes back to them showing up. They need to be able to be a part of a team, not just on the court or on the field, but off the field, off the court, when they're hanging out with their friends, when they're in school. Are they doing their work? Are they going to study tables? Are they being the best student athlete that they can be? Again, not everybody makes a team, so it's a privilege to be on the team and not a right. And it's awesome to wear that St. V logo on your chest. And even though maybe you're off the court, whatever it may be, you're still wearing the logo. You're still a part of the team. You're still a part of the school, and you need to be a great role model for the team and the school. Making sure you know that at all times. Two quick last things. I want this to be a positive and fun experience. 90s, I'm a big stats guy, and about 95 to 97% of student athletes that go through high school sports at the end of their 4 years, it's a terminal experience. They're not going on to play at the next level, whether it's college or MLB, NFL, whatever it may be. They're done after their 4 years here in St. V. And I want this to be a positive and fun experience for them, so they can look back when they are 25, 30, 35, whatever it may be, years old, and they can say, oh, I had a great experience with coach whoever, or a teacher whoever, whatever it may be. And then once they go on to college, or they're off and they have their own families, they can send their kids to St. V. They can still be a part of the St. V community in one way, shape, or form, and look back and say, that's really what a big reason of why I loved, St. Vincent St. Mary High School. So again, something that all of our coaches do a great job of is making it a positive and fun experience. Because the last thing that I wanted are the student athletes, your son or daughter, to have to shrug their shoulders when they're walking into school and they're thinking, oh, I gotta go to practice. Oh, I gotta play a game today. No, I want them to want to be at practice. I want them to want to play a game. I want them to have fun while they're within whatever program that they are in. Last but not least, academics. I am huge on academics. We are student athletes, not athlete student. I understand that athletics is very important here, and I totally understand that. But the thing that I always tell our kids, tell our parents, and tell our coaches is, get your work done first. That's first and first. Student athletes, do your study tables. Make sure you're not goofing around in class. Make sure you're getting your homework done, your tests done, whatever it may be. And if you need help, ask for help. There's plenty of opportunities, plenty of people that are willing to help these student athletes succeed, including myself. If you need help with the test, whatever it may be, or you need a quiet place to be, stop in my office and sit at my table, and we can get your homework done or get your test done, whatever it may be. But again, academics is a huge part of all of this, especially if you want to play at the next level. You got to have the proper grades moving forward if you want to play at the next level. This is just a head coach directory for winter. Hopefully by now you all know who your head coach is. If you don't, please take a look at this, send an email to your coach, ask for some more information about the season, about open lifts, about open fields, open bowls, whatever it may be, open swims, whatever it may be. Get in contact with your head coach or with the head coach, and make sure that you have an idea of what's going on and where you need to be at certain places in certain times. So the OHSAA, so the just like most any other schools, the OHSAA is our governing body for every sport that we are a part of, minus cheer. But we are a proud member of the OHSAA, just like a lot of other schools. There's the link right here in orange is the OHSAA preseason information. Some information just that goes over things for the season and whatnot. Maybe talking about a little bit about what I'm already talking about, but again, just some more information that you guys can take a look at. Moving on. Sportsmanship. I am huge on sportsmanship, not only just for our student athletes and our coaches, but also for our parents and our spectators in the stands. We have all these officials that do not want to officiate. We have coaches that do not want to coach because of how awful their parents and maybe spectators, even coaches or even players, sportsmanship is. It's consistently getting worse and worse and worse. And I want to put an emphasis on it. There's going to be positive sportsmanship at all of our games. And if there's not going to be positive sportsmanship, then there will be repercussions for that. I want this to be an enjoyable environment for everybody, spectators, officials, fans, myself. I want the kids again to be learning something. And I don't think we are teaching our student athletes anything positive when we're yelling at the officials, when we're F-bomb this, F-bomb that, consistently getting on top of the officials. So again, having positive sportsmanship in practices, in games, everywhere we go. This Parents Fair Play Code is a great resource from the OHSAA. It's the Respect the Game Parents Fair Play Code. Again, just kind of outlines what it means to be a spectator, what it means to be a parent, what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing at games. Obviously, again, the other link is another great link, the Respect the Game link. Again, just respecting the game, making it a positive environment, making it a learning experience for these kids, a positive learning experience for these kids. The last link is something that I've added on my slides for all my parents, all my coaches for years now. It's a funny video. It's a funny fan in the stands at a basketball game or a volleyball game, whatever it may be, just talking about how some of these parents, how some of these spectators can act. It's meant to be funny. So don't take it to heart. It's really funny. but it puts everything into perspective about how some of these parents, how some of these grandparents, spectators act in the stands, and really how stupid some of these parents and whatnot look. And I say I don't say, and I say that lightly. You know, it's again going back to the sportsmanship. We want it just to be a positive, you know, environment for the kids. And again, just make sure that, you know, this it's intended to be funny, but again, it's kind of a little bit real in ways too as well. Moving on, Final Forms eligibility. Hopefully by now everybody knows what Final Forms is. Final Forms is our database system for all of our student athletes. It's for your certifications, for coaches certifications, for physicals, uploads, for all of our forms that we will have you sign as parents, both parents and student athletes. You know, there's waivers on there. There's a bunch of different items on there that will have you sign, just to make sure we're squared away and set for the winter season. But if you don't know what Final Forms is by now, please see the link over here, the orange link, for any information on Final Forms. Make sure that your daughter, son or daughter, has a Final Forms account. Everybody needs to have a Final Forms account to participate in some sort of extracurricular athletics. I like to say every student needs to be green. What I mean by that is they're registered on Final Forms, they have a valid physical, and both the parent and the student forms are signed. Those need to be signed before the first practice, you know, before they can even, you know, step on the field when it comes to the season. They need to be all green. Student athletes can now, the cool thing now is that student athletes can now upload physicals, or parents can upload the physicals straight to Final Forms. And what that does is it sends myself, Brendan, and Tanner an email. When you upload that document, then we will go in and upload or update the document to reflect the correct dates. Physicals are valid for 13 months. And for those of you who don't know where the physical form is, it's within your Final Forms account. At the very bottom, it'll say OHSA PPE physical form, or doctor form, whatever it may be. Should be the very last form at the bottom. If not, go on Google and type in OHSA physical form, and it'll be the first link you can pop up on. Talked a little bit about forms being signed. Getting more into a little bit of the eligibility piece. For those, maybe those freshmen that maybe don't know, or freshman parents, they must be at school. Your son or daughter must be at school for 2 full academic blocks to be eligible for practices or games that day. And big keyword is academic blocks. So that doesn't mean 1 study hall and 1 academic block. That means 2 full academic blocks. So if they come in, you know, at the beginning of the day and they have a first period or first block study hall, and then they go to history class and they leave, they would be ineligible for that day. They need to stay for at least 2 academic blocks. Again, 2 academic blocks. Any excused absences must be ran through the front office, through the attendance office, and then that will get relayed over to myself in the athletic office. A little bit more, OHSA requires that all student athletes must be enrolled in passing 5 1-credit classes. That is pretty standard throughout all different high schools. Please know that physical education does not count as a full credit. If you have any questions about your classes and whatnot, please get with your counselor and talk about that ASAP if you think you are not meeting any of those requirements. A step further for eligibility, all student athletes participating in extracurricular activities, including athletics, will be required to maintain a 2.0 GPA for each grading period. Basically, any student athlete who falls below that 2.0 GPA, you know, basically from a 1.5 to a 1.99, will be placed on academic probation. So during that probationary period, these student athletes, they remain eligible for extracurriculars only if they attend the required remediation sessions, the study tables that are required from the assistant principals in order to be eligible. Obviously, you have to attend those study tables. Taking it a step further, any student athletes who fall below that 1.5 GPA are ineligible for extracurricular activities and are not allowed to attend any practices or games. The OHSA also states that a student must pass 5, we talked about this, to ensure eligibility. If they do not pass that, those 5 credit classes, they would obviously be out for the whole semester, per OHSAA. For STVM purposes, if they fall below that 1.5 GPA at the time of the grade check, so say at the end of quarter 1, they're at a 1.45 or 1.4, then they would be ineligible to participate up until the interim of that quarter. So once that grade check is done for the interim, if they are above that 1.5 and they go to the remediation sessions or the study tables, then they would be eligible to participate the rest of the quarter. Hopefully that all makes sense. And if that does not make sense, please let me know. Moving on, communication, playing time. I am a huge, I put a huge emphasis on communication. One of my old athletic directors I used to work with, instilled this into me: open, honest, transparent, and real-time communication. I believe, this might be a big step, but 99% of our problems stem from some type of lack of communication, miscommunication, or no communication, whatever it may be. I think having the open and honest and transparent communication in real time is huge. So again, because most of our problems stem from that. When it comes to playing time, I'm huge on that is between the player and the coach. Again, we're here to have them learn, have this be a learning experience, and we want them to, gain the confidence to go ahead and have some of these tough conversations with their players or their colleagues or their friends or even their coaches or their parents, whatever it may be. So again, playing time is between the player and the coach, and if they have a problem with their playing time, please have them come to coach. Obviously, if that does not get alleviated or does not get resolved, then we would take it to the next step where coach would then have a talk with the player and the parent if needed, and then if needed a step further, I would come into play and help out as needed. But hopefully it does not get to that point, and hopefully that playing time and issue or concern, question mark, whatever it may be, can be done between the player and the coach. Another a video. I like using videos. I think they're catchy and they're great. This is a great video from a boys basketball coach, college coach, just talking about parents, talking about their role and what they can do. And I love this video, and I think it's an older video, but I think it's still relevant today. So feel free to click on that video and take a look. Transportation is the bane of my existence. Everybody that I know, every AD I talk to, every principal that I talk to, has an issue when it comes to transportation. There's the issues are relevant. It's a pain in the butt. There's cancellations. There's drivers that just don't want to drive. There's buses break down, whatever it may be. So all I ask of you is please be patient with us, as we try to work through these issues. A lot of the times, if a bus is late or this, that, it's not our fault. It's on the transportation company. So again, we're doing everything we can to make sure your son or daughter gets from point A to point B very, safely and soundly, in one piece. And we're doing our best. And sometimes hiccups happen. And if hiccups do happen, we will let you know. Also, transportation will be offered to all sports. But there may be times where self-transportation may have to be used. If a bus or a driver is not available, or if it's a closer trip or it's a weekend trip, or the coach just wants to have all the kids and team meet there, that might be an option as well. So again, just bear with us and work with us. Moving on. I'm putting a big emphasis on social media, websites, graphics, you name it. I think the parents love having spotlights of their kids, of their teams, of their coaches, and the amazing things that they are doing both on the field and off the field. And also, I think the student athletes love being spotlighted, whether it's game updates, final scores, athlete of the week, athlete of the month. We are working with Gabe Delgado and Isabella Dunlap, two of our student athletes, that graduated back in 2023 who are helping us with the media day and promotional videos, social media, TikToks, staying up with the new trends nowadays. And all the coaches and kids seem to love it. On top of that, we do have a brand new athletic only website in the orange link. Please feel free to check it out. It's flashy, it's cool, it's got logos, it's got the St. V logo, it's got rosters. Everything you need to know about athletics is on that website. Down below too as well, we have our Twitter handle, Instagram handle, Facebook handle. Check us out on our socials. We're very active on social media, trying to promote our programs, trying to promote our school and whatnot. And I think we do a very good job of that. One thing too, we do live stream all of our home games in the gym as well as the stadium. If anybody is looking to watch those, it's the STVM Broadcasting YouTube account. Feel free to jump on YouTube and take a look at that. Moving on to ticketing, we are still using Hometown Ticketing. That is the online platform that we used in the previous years. The updated policy, spectator policy, is there in the orange. It's the same as the fall, but feel free to take a look at it. It's on our website. We are offering season passes for winter again, just like we did for the fall. Feel free to jump on there and take a look at them and purchase them for the season. One thing we are doing, bringing back, is the cash option at the door. Even though we are accepting cash at the door, we are hugely pushing the online ticketing just in case the game were to sell out or whatever it may be. Again, this buying it online secures your seat and puts your butt in the seat. Just please note too, if you were to buy an athletic pass, they are not accepted for any OHSA sanctioned games. So any postseason games that we have, those would not be accepted. We have to purchase a separate ticket for those OHSAA games. Any away matches, games, events, whatever it may be, every school does it differently. Some might do all cash, some might do a variation. So this will be communicated out to the families and student athletes once we receive it from the athletic director or that school, whatever it may be. Last but not least, the last slide, just some important dates, information. Picture day for all you winter athletes. Girls basketball, boys basketball, gymnastics, and cheer will be on November 14th. Mark your calendar. November 28th, wrestling, swimming, bowling, and athletic training will also be on that date. Team parent meetings, these will more than likely happen once once cuts are made and or once practices are done and we roll into games. If you have more, like I said, more information will come out from coach once the teams are set about those parent meetings. Last two things, signing day. We are hosting a signing day November 8th at 3:15 in the LBJ. That's for any student athletes that are signing at the next level to play in college or whatever it may be. And that's for all levels, Division III, NAIA 2, 1, whatever it may be. If you're signing to play at the next level, we want to honor you and celebrate you. So mark that day on your calendar. Last but not least, this is a good resource. It's the OHSA season calendar of important dates. It kind of shows every single date for every sport, when sectionals are, when states are, when the first day of contest for first practices may be, whatever it is. Take a look at that link and let me know if you have any questions. Other than that, I wanted to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. I think these videos work a lot better than having a meeting in the gym where I call you all in and have a 2-hour meeting and you're sitting in the hot gym that has no AC and you're bored and you're sitting in the stands and you don't care, whatever it may be. So now you can actually sit here in the comfort of your home, wherever it may be, and watch this video and learn a little bit more about the winter sports. So again, we're looking forward to the winter season. Again, it's crazy to think that we're already talking about winter and it's going to start getting cold but yeah, looking forward to the winter season. If you have any questions throughout this video or in general, please let myself know. But looking forward to the season and go Irish.